We're doing it live.
Look at this guy. We got the Smith boys. I think Hodges needs to be the star every now and then. This is he has the best hair in Travis County, by the way.
Excuse me.
1B. 1B.
Excuse me.
Father, this is the third father-son duo in Man Cave history.
This is number one.
This is the number one. You've ascended.
Correct.
And we need you and Hodges to do the same in your brackets.
Hey, listen, one's a little better. I think you did that prize for dead last for a purpose. But I said this. I've been to more basketball games this year, totally following it. And I think that's why all my biases are put in there, and I'm horrible at it.
Well, I looked at the three of our picks, and we're going to get to those. We all did the right thing. 12s and 13 seeds and 14 seeds historically do well in this tournament.
That's right.
Hey, you see the two logos there, big time sponsors, but we can't forget as we have the cricket ringtone. Sorry about that. We can't forget about our guy Jim Saxton State.
1-4.
Longhorn legacy, baby.
Love it. 1-4. Started the dual threat quarterback trend.
He did from Westlake. They try to, and Coach McWilliams. It was almost option style that night. Here. I loved
it.
Absolutely. I got to ask you guys about the Des Moines, Iowa experience. I've only been once. I remember it's a financial town with one large, tall building that looks like this.
Correct.
There's a river.
There's a river
runs through it.
Listen, it's been 17 to 20 degrees.
Oh.
One thing I didn't realize is there's skywalks all through downtown, so you don't have to do it. But if you have 20 to 60 ounces of beer, you just light it up and walk the streets, which we did this morning.
Well, what do you give Hodges? Lemonade?
No, they don't. They don't. It's a big Pepsi town. So he's
I did not know that.
Chugging Mr. Pibb. They've no Dr. Pepper. We're not in the South. Cornfields is nothing. But where else do you go on spring break, Sean? Des Moines, Iowa.
It would be Cedar Rapids for me.
The great Cedar Rapids, sure. Well, it is funny. We flew into Omaha and saw whatever it is, the new College World Series. You pass right by it, and then you pass 2 hours of nothing. I mean, apocalypse. That's cornfields that are gone because of the winter, and then you pull into Des Moines, and it's what you'd think Des Moines would be.
Yeah.
We had big Iowa steak last night, pretty good. Went to an English pub for lunch.
Ooh.
Solid. They were out of a lot of the St. Patrick's people ate all the food, so we were limited on our appetizers. But we got into some draft beer. I did at lunch. Solid place.
Solid place.
The Royal Mile.
Did you have green dye in your beer?
No green dye. I did see Ogden's wife. This is an age-appropriate pod, isn't it?
Correct.
I mean, I didn't say this. Ogden's wife yesterday was wearing a bunch of beads, and I was like, I'm not going to go to lunch with her and her kids if she's going to wear the beads. St. Patrick's Day. She was like, oh, so-and-so gave them to me, and I said, what'd you have to do to get those beads? You know what I mean?
Hey, I've done this a few times, and
agreed. Yeah, nothing.
Why does it not work for us?
Somebody handed you a peanut and said, "Go away."
Yeah, just have one little ball.
Put it down.
I got one bead.
That's
broken
right.
beads.
That's right.
I've got just had a comparison. Last year it was rather amusing.
Correct.
It was fun for you and Hodges. All these trips are fun, but it's kind of like the 1 year anniversary of the trip to Milwaukee.
Correct.
With CDC, and we got briefly relive that and compare it because I have a feeling the trip to Des Moines was a lot smoother.
It's a lot smoother. What's funny is he texted me this week, and it was like 6 a.m. one of these days. He said, "Call me and I woke up a little later. I'm an early riser, not really, but I woke up and he was calling me. He's like, hey, and I told whoever I was with, I was like, I'm afraid he's going to want to do it. Now, luckily we didn't. Hodges, I don't know if I said this in the pod last time, but Hodges, about the time we got to Dallas, there were a lot of options to fly out of Dallas when we were with CDC. And CDC's like, I'll do whatever you want to do. And I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. And we're like, let's let Hodges decide. And Hodges goes, Dad, let's fly from Dallas. What are y'all doing? And I looked at CDC and I was like, well, we tweeted, we might as well drive it.
Yeah.
And me and CDC laughed. But by the time you got to past Tulsa, you start to realize it's really bad and we're doing this.
But you still talk about it. Hodges, what do you remember about that trip from last year? Because to me, that was, you could say, the trip from hell. But it was also something you guys probably still talk about, right?
Well, during the drive, it was pretty bad.
Why was it bad? I mean, two old men talking?
Yeah, I just had to put my AirPods in.
Hey, Sean, it's so funny. We stopped in Springfield. CDC tweets out, anybody in Springfield, Missouri, what's the best restaurant? And somebody tweeted him immediately. He's like, go, what was the name of it?
Jimmy's.
Go to Jimmy's Steakhouse. It's the best in town. He's like, absolutely, meet us there. So these two guys show up in Longhorn gear, Jimmy's Steakhouse. We ate, kind of it was a lot of fun. We got in the car and rode. Well, later on that trip, when we beat Virginia Tech, we went to a steakhouse, and we were laughing at this trip. We went last night. We're debating where to go eat, and there was one steakhouse that looked really good and one that looked like it'd be kind of a Golden Corral-ish, a.k.a. Jimmy's. I just goes, Dad, I think that one may be a little more Jimmy's than the one. Which he wasn't wrong. So we picked the upscale one.
I like it, man. And you guys, I'm sure when we get together over a fire pit, that will come up.
Yeah.
And for a lifetime.
One other funny thing. Hodges, is in 8th grade. He's meathead football. We get there and he's like, I just can't believe we didn't fly, yada, yada. I'm like, come on, this is going to be great. And we started going through. It was the first time we looked at all the tweets and the comments. And there's some lady in there so sweet, following she's commenting on everyone in Del Conte's tweets. And the last one was when we got there and we took a picture in the hotel. We made it, and everybody's like, oh, congrats. And this lady goes, oh, come on, Texas, win it for Hodges. And I go, see? You got 68-year-old women fans out there, buddy.
Hodges, how many followers did you, after that trip, gain? Was it 100% growth?
A lot of it was on Twitter, so
it's not as
too much. Yeah.
Not as good as the gram, okay? But listen, he is a big hit with the Family Feud, Wheel of Fortune crowd, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're big.
Oh my God.
They're big.
This is lovely. So this bracket challenge,
yes,
we all know it's about luck. It is.
Right.
And I told Wills before we started this, all this is it's about luck. And then you go with the 12 seed, the 13 seeds. So far, after the first 2 days, this is what we have. And I'm none of us are on this list. And you see some names in there. You got Karsten, the Fiddler boys, in the top 5.
Agreed. Fiddlers are worrying about how to flip a baseball bat. I don't know how they're in there. The best was I took a picture after day 1, Tess and Hodges in first place. I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Then late last night, we're watching his Final 4 pick, Memphis, lose in the first round, and that's where he tanked.
And I took Memphis, but I meant to pick Florida Atlantic because they were ranked at one point this year.
Yeah,
and it was very frustrating. And you look at the whole bracket. There's been some upsets, and I'm trying to get the graphic up where we all are, except my name, fortunately, and it's not a bias thing, I promise. I'm right there on the cusp of the race to the basement.
Yes.
With
that's
you guys.
That's kind of when I planned this out, that's where I was going. There I am.
There we are. There I am. Now, there's 43 entries for this. A lot of movement's going to happen.
Yes.
But the winner gets a $100 gift card to Dirty Martin's. And Tess and I were debating what to give the guy, we got to be gender equal here, man or woman, who finished last.
Well,
I don't know what that will be yet.
Peter Millar golf vest, clearly.
Yes. I think we need to get with Peter Millar. I think we can be an ambassador to them.
Agreed. Golly, I am right there. I just need a couple of more things to go my way. No. I can make it.
Oh, so Hodges, you've got 2 entries, which was smart. Looking ahead to today and Sunday, what's your strategy? I mean, you're looking at it, you still have a chance. You still have a chance to move up at a furious pace.
Well, the first one was the one that I was thinking about, like looking through all the picks and making sure I thought they were right. And that's the one that ended up being in last, where the second one I just guessed.
Yeah.
I just tried to fill it out real quick, and that's the one doing better.
No, it's out of our hands now. It's
For
unfortunate because I'm right there. I'm like 2 spots above you guys. I was like in first after the first day games of day 1. And look how far we've fallen.
It's amazing. There's nothing like it we do a family bowl pick deal, and literally one of the twins will win it after watching 3 minutes of a game. It's ridiculous. They pick on what mascots they like better.
Oh,
they're winning.
It's unreal.
We watch every game. The problem for me is everything goes around what Texas does.
Yep.
Well, if they beat Texas once, Illinois, they're going. They beat us, so they're the best.
Yeah.
Same thing in football bowl. If you play us in the Big 12, you are tough customer. You're going to win your bowl game.
You're going to go, yeah. Oh, and then what? Big 12 is 5-2,
right?
So far, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, now we're to the round of 32. This is, all of them are fun. Penn State. I think we all picked the Aggies, right? To beat Penn State. You didn't? I did, and I lost on that. I can't remember, Hodges. Who did you pick in that game?
I think I had the Aggies for 1 and Penn State for 1.
Yeah, that was smart. You got to go opposite end. So now we've got Penn State. And before we talk about that, Jabari Rice, good Lord, man, he went off that game against Colgate, squeezed the fluoride out of the tube. Kurt Bowles asked this question. This was very unlike Kurt, but it was absolutely comical.
Jabari, what the hell got into you tonight? All the credit goes to my teammates. They found me. I was able to knock down shots tonight. I think it was more of the flow. We were just ready to play tonight. Obviously, I haven't been shooting the ball pretty well last 3 games, but I just trusted my teammates, trusted my work, and it went well today.
See, that's the running for office response. He's got it down. A year ago, he's beating Stephen F. Austin out for the WAC title, and this guy, unreal. You guys have seen more games than I have in person.
Yeah, he's unreal. He before the TCU game, I went to the shoot around in Fort Worth. He literally, practice was over. They had 30 minutes to take a shower and no later than 5 minutes to run in there and shower. And for 25 minutes, all he did, now he's an all-around player. Now he plays defense. He can drive the bucket. But all he did for 25 minutes was shoot threes, and he had a GA just spitting in balls, but from different locations, deep, on the line, around, different angles. he's a guy who wants to win. I mean, not that they all want to win, but he's a little things guy, you know, from Houston, and he's awesome. He's so good. You want to hear one good story?
Oh, I love your stories.
Okay, listen. Mary Carolyn going to go to Texas next year. She goes down to whatever Resurrection. It's some weekend they didn't have when I was there, but it's so all these parties. She goes down there. Well, we played. Who did we play that day? Baylor, somebody. She didn't go to the game. Hodges and I went, and it was probably a 1 o'clock game, 11 o'clock game, Saturday game. We go to the game. Texas wins. So fun. And we go to Shoal Creek. You were at Shoal Creek, Sean.
Yes.
So we're having a good time. Well, MC texts me, and we've been around the basketball team so much. I know most of these guys, and now getting to know the newer guys. Well, so Mary Carolyn goes up and sees Christian Bishop. He's high-fiving, knows her from being around. Goes up to Jabari and just goes, "Hey, Jabari, you know my dad Wheels?" And he just goes, "No, not really." And she's like, "Oh my God, no." She loved it so much. So then I saw him in Fort Worth. I'm like, "God, saw you ran into my daughter." And he goes, "Man, I didn't know. I didn't really." It was pretty good though. She loved it though. That she's like, "Dad, he doesn't have a clue of who you are."
He'll recognize you.
Yeah, he's so great. He's become everybody's favorite. But really, he did an interview before the season, and you can look it up. And they ask him, you know, why'd you come to Texas? And I think expecting him to say closer to home or whatever.
Yeah.
And in that interview, I mean, he's as intense as anybody, and he just goes, "I wake up thinking about championships. I go to bed thinking about championships. Every grinding practice, I'm thinking about winning championships." And really, he played with Timmy Allen's brother. Timmy Allen's brother talked to us and said, "You guys need to get him. He's solid."
He's just an example of some kids get overlooked by the big P5 schools.
That's right.
And not that New Mexico State's a bad basketball school. Well, no. It is now because of what happened, but they have a history. Hodges, man, you look at this, you've seen just as much basketball as your dad. You've been down there. You see it up close. Penn State, to me, looks like a threat. I underestimated them. What are you looking forward to today with your dad? I mean, you look at it from a different set of eyes than I do. I want to be honest.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a big win.
That's it?
Yeah.
You want context. Tell them about the scouting report, 22. What are we doing with him? 22's their big guard, kind of oversized guard. He likes to back guys down, and then how are we going to defend him? We saw the scouting report. How are we defending 22?
Don't let him kick it out.
He back
threes.
Yeah, he backs you down, and the minute you try to double him, he just kicks it out to one of those guys for three. That's why they hit 1 million against A&M.
I feel like they're still dropping.
Yeah, well, we're going to early on defend him. Timmy Allen's going to guard him, try to not let him back him down. But if he does, you just defend him, but you never double him. He's a unique, kind of a unicorn in college basketball. He's so smart in how he distributes the ball. The minute you double him, he knows where the open guy is. So we're going to let him. He may score. The coaches were in there, and they're like, he may score 25, 28. But if he does that and the other guys don't score whatever, another 20 and 20, we're winning the game.
That's a solid game plan. That really is. Hey, let's end things on a positive note.
Okay.
Hey, Ben, tell me something good.
Positive with Wills and Hodges. Every day they wake up a champion. They wake up with positive mindsets. They're in Des Moines, Iowa. Hopefully you see this before the tip-off at 6:45. We'll begin with Hodges. Man, tell me something good that you've experienced there in the heartland of America.
Well, something good is that we didn't have to drive.
That's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
It's a good thing. I've got mine's easy, Sean. Right here. Come and go.
Come and
Okay,
go.
can
Is
you see that?
I like the K. Is that that's a convenience store wax back hat?
Correct. And let me tell you something. When you get north of Oklahoma, I don't know if they're in Oklahoma. It's kind of the standard bearer. Come and go. Now, knowing you and your college days, come and go could have been a handy little place for you to be at. Okay.
That would have cost about $10 or $15.
We went nuts on the swag. We did. What was funny is there was on the way with Del Conte, we stopped and I'm like, seriously, you're stopping here? And he started laughing. He's like, let's take a picture. He took a picture and he did like one of these emojis. Hold on.
Oh,
yeah. So I sent him a deal with Hodges and I on our come and go swag.
Dude, that would have been an outstanding place.
Yeah.
Near the campus of Stephen F. Austin
Of
State
course.
University.
Get your unmentionables there and
whatever. And no telling what happens in the back.
No. There's a lot of things. When you go to the bathroom, there's a lot of stuff you can put quarters in and get.
There's certain rings you can get.
Yeah, well, and there's some oils and potions on there too now.
Potions, longevity and endurance.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
important, especially when you're in vending machines.
Correct.
Oh my God, man, guys, I'm living vicariously through you guys, as is a lot of Longhorn Nation. Man, you guys enjoy. Are you at the Marriott again?
We're at the Marriott.
The Bonvoy points are accumulating as we speak.
Crushing it. We'll do this again next week from Kansas City. That's how good I feel about this.
We've got to do it. We got to do this more. Kansas City, the regional. We got to get it.
Neck down.
For Hodges, the future Anderson Trojan star, and everyone's favorite NIL deal champion, and the come and go ambassador, that being Wills, and the OG Man Cave boys, that being Hardball Hearts, Big Mike, and Coach Mo. What do we say, gentlemen? We are out.